In today's episode on the Daily Connoisseur, I'm trying out British educator and philosopher Charlotte Mason's daily routine. I hope you'll join me. Hello everyone, Jennifer here, and welcome back to the Daily Connoisseur. I've long been a fan of Charlotte Mason and her educational philosophy. I first learned about her by reading Karen Andreola's A Charlotte Mason Companion, and have read several books on her and her philosophy since then, most recently Essex Chumley's biography, so I thought I'd try to recreate her routine for fun. You never know what you can find out by doing someone else's daily routine. You can also check out a breakdown of Charlotte Mason's daily routine in an article by Sonia Schaefer of Simply Charlotte Mason, so I will leave that in the description box down below. Charlotte lived in Victorian England, so her routine will naturally be very different from mine. And by the way, I'm filming this on a Saturday when we didn't have school and the kids have a few play dates planned. Also, Ben is in England while I'm filming this. Okay, let's begin with breakfast. Charlotte had breakfast at 8 a.m. I have the coffee going, and I'm going to make some oatmeal in the Instant Pot for our breakfast today, so I get that going. It's 2 cups of oatmeal, 5 cups of water, and a pinch of salt cooked on high pressure for 3 minutes. Charlotte did not have to make her own meals, so I'm thinking in this case the Instant Pot is like my own personal chef. Meanwhile, I'm going to enjoy my first cup of coffee. By the way, this is the new and improved Keep Calm and Remain Classy mug that's in my new merch shop, which I will link down below. The first sip is truly the best. The oatmeal is ready now, so I let the pressure valve release, and the consistency looks perfect. I'm going to make a little healthy breakfast here with pumpkin seeds, granola, fruit, and a splash of almond milk.
Good morning, everyone. It is just after 8 a.m. and I'm having breakfast. And it's funny because I normally don't have breakfast until 9 o'clock or later. So I'm not even hungry right now. Like, I don't even want this. But it looks really good and it is good. So of course I'm going to eat it. I'm trying out Charlotte's routine today. So here we go. Breakfast is served.
After breakfast, I go outside to feed the birds. Charlotte loved nature, and bird watching was a big part of that. I always ring the wind chime after I put their food out, so they know their breakfast is ready. And I just take a few final sips of coffee in the garden, enjoying this beautiful morning. After that, I get dressed. My Doan dress has Victorian vibes, so that's what I'm wearing today, along with my amethyst necklace from Otter Spirit. When I step out, I'll wear the Thursday boots flats, and when I'm indoors, I'll wear the Oliveri Life slippers. Okay, at around 9:30 a.m., the mail would come and Charlotte would answer letters, organize the schoolhouse, and do a bit of work. I'm going to take this opportunity to write a letter to my nephew who recently went off to college. He's in military school, and I recently watched his cresting ceremony online and wanted to tell him how proud I was of him. The stationery I'm using to write to him is so special. My dear friend Conrad Cox, who creates those beautiful forest photography portals, released a line of greeting cards with his photography on them, and they are so magical. I will leave Conrad's info down below if you're interested in getting them too. I just know my nephew will love this card. It feels good to do my letter writing at the beginning of the day rather than the end when I'm usually super tired, so I like this. So today my version of organizing household details will be to clean up after breakfast. So I do that in the kitchen now. And then I'm going to get some work done. Charlotte worked until about noon, which is great because I have a lot to do. I'm writing a YouTube script and I need to film a dress for a video on demure dressing. This dress is by Goelia. So I filmed that and I upload the footage. At 12:15, Charlotte was known to stop working and read 10 minutes of a classic author. Today I'm going to continue reading Henry James's ghost stories. I love Henry James. I finished The Portrait of a Lady last year, and I like to read from this short story anthology every fall. This time I'm reading The Ghostly Rental. At 1 o'clock, Charlotte had dinner with the students, or what we would call lunch. Today for lunch we had roll-em-up taquitos, which I'm most certain Charlotte did not have, but she was missing out, let me tell you. We got the churro donuts with our lunch too as a dessert. Oh my goodness, this was so good. After lunch, she would read a biography out loud. My kids were not around after lunch, so I'm reading from Jane Carlisle's letters. I visited the Carlisle's house this summer in London, and I've been loving her letters. I suppose this could definitely be considered biographical. Okay, this is where it gets crazy. At 2:15, Charlotte was known for going on a nature walk or ride. She was in England, not Southern California, and on the day I filmed this, it was over 100 degrees at 2:15. But I changed into my workout clothes and decided to go on my walk, first mailing off the letter to my nephew. Okay, it was so hot. I was struggling a bit here.
Okay, so it is the heat of the day. I would literally never go on a walk this time of day here in Southern California. So something about that feels like it's a bit of an adventure, you know, because I would never do this. So there's something kind of exciting about that. And one thing I noticed when I was walking after I mailed my nephew's letter was that there were so many crows outside. There were like 30 crows circling up in the sky, and they were too far away for me to capture them. But I hear them everywhere. It's like they're really communicating to each other this time of day, and I've never noticed that before. Maybe because I'm usually inside this time of day when it's this hot outside. So anyway, I have my bag here with my mail in it. You know, I'm kind of enjoying this. It's a little bit of an adventure. So I'm gonna walk back now and either take a dip in the pool or a shower. I'm not sure which one. I don't think Charlotte had a pool, but I might just have to take advantage of it.
And yes, I took a dip in the pool. I had to. I was glistening with sweat by the time I got back, and it felt so refreshing to go swimming. I rinsed off in the shower as well, and even though it was kind of early, I changed into my nightgown from Print Fresh. I know it's a nightgown, but I also like to use this as a colorful house dress, so it was perfect to slip into after all of those shenanigans. Charlotte took tea at 4 p.m., so I'm out in the garden picking some mint that I can use to make tea. I don't know if you can see this spider. I tried to capture it on film without getting too close, but wow, it was big. And now it's time for tea. For tea today, I didn't feel like having something sweet after eating the churro donut earlier, so I'm just having some sourdough toast with butter, along with my mint tea. My son wanted to join me for tea today, so he's having his toast with milk. It was really nice. After tea, Charlotte would have teacher training or work-related things. I played Batman with the boys for a bit, and then I did some more work on my laptop. I noticed that Charlotte really breaks her day up between work and play, and I like that. Charlotte would have supper at 7 p.m. Again, that's pretty late for me. I normally have dinner at 5, so I'm a bit thrown off by all this. I'm having a light supper of zucchini cauliflower soup with a sauerkraut and beet salad, and hot water to drink. I felt a bit like I had the beginning of a cold coming, so that's why I had the hot water. After supper, she would do a read aloud. Reading aloud is one of my favorite Charlotte Mason tips, along with art and poetry study and nature journaling. I've been reading aloud to the kids from Disraeli's book of Greek myths. I think everyone should know the basics of Greek mythology, as references to Greek myths are everywhere, even today. This time we were in the chapter on Dionysus. Pretending to be very friendly, and then she asked why Semele's husband was not at home and what kind of man he might be. "He is nobody less than mighty Zeus," Semele said proudly. Then Charlotte would retire to her room at 8:45 p.m. and would read again before bed. I usually like to read nonfiction before I go to sleep, so I'm reading The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer, based on many of your recommendations, and it's really good. Wow, it was so interesting to follow along with her schedule. When you try someone else's routine, especially someone from a bygone era, from a totally different country, with a different life to yours, it's great to pay attention to what you liked about the routine and discard what didn't work. One of my favorite things about Charlotte's routine was all the varied reading she does. I tend to read 3 or 4 books at a time as well, so I appreciated that reinforcement. I also love the idea of going for a walk every day, although for me it's going to be much later in the day. And I love making time to write letters as well as read aloud to the family. I would love to know what your favorite aspects of Charlotte's routine are. Let us know in the comments. I'll link all the books and podcasts and resources that I know about Charlotte Mason down below, and if you'd like me to follow another famous person's routine, let me know in the comments. I already have one person in particular I'm thinking of who I'm interested in trying their routine. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Keep calm and remain classy, and I'll see you in the next one. Love, Jennifer.